Hello, everybody. My name is Dusanka, and my topic for today is performance testing. Which tool I need to use? I have a little cold, so I apologize about that and my voice. I'm a test developer, actually, in Levi 9, and the department manager also. I'm leading one team of people, small, good team. My company is Dutch company. We have delivery centers in 3 countries. One is Serbia, my country, and the other one is in Ukraine, and third one is Romania. I'm at one small town, Zrenjanin, near Belgrade, and we try to make a good testers in my company and to share knowledge. And I want to share with you just a small part of my knowledge for today about performance testing. This is agenda for today, some words about performance testing, about 2 tools, JMeter, Locust, about advantages of both tools, drawbacks of both tools also, and some common pitfalls that we cannot do in performance testing. Actually, one of the speakers mentioned functional testing and how is a little testing that is non-functional. A lot of testers here, I suppose, know what is functional testing, and we have some requirements. We must fulfill that requirements, specification, and so on. We try to testing all functions. Is it good? Does it work? Create bugs and so on. But where is the non-functional testing? What is non-functional testing at all? My colleagues are automated and manually testers, and most of them don't work, actually, non-functional testing. Non-functional testing is something that we must do, and that must become a part of our daily jobs. Non-functional testing is also fulfilling of requirements, but requirements as response of time for some pages or speed of the application or system or something like that. We have some types of non-functional testing that are familiar to you, I suppose. One of the types is performance testing, but we have also security testing. Great lectures today was about security testing, and we have compatibility, usability testing that is very interesting for me also, data conversion and so on. There are many types, but I have mentioned just a few of them. What is performance testing at all, and what's supposed to do with performance testing? Performance testing is take care about behavior of our application or system. I'm a tester that do actually web testing, web application testing, and my web application is very important for performance testing to have a good performance testing, good test plans, and so on. We have also different performance testing types, such as stress testing, spike testing, load testing, you heard all those terms, I suppose. And we always track some attributes of performance testing that we watch, like speed, reliability, scalability, and it is definitely very important how we will fulfill our test plan in performance testing. We have also different performance tools. In our market, there are many of tools, and of course, some of them are free, some of them are not free, some of them are easier to use than others. And I worked some about maybe 10 different tools. And for today, I choose 2 tools to introduce you with. One of the tools is JMeter tool. Why JMeter? JMeter because I searched for open source, free tool that is easy for using. And the first tool that I tried actually was JMeter. JMeter was in the beginning of my using, just easy to use, very simple, very clear, but then become difficult. I wanted to try some advanced test scenario, and I wanted more things to do in JMeter, and it becomes a little bit harder. I learn on my job and in my free time also every day about JMeter. During this maybe 5 years, I think, I don't know everything about it. JMeter has a test plan, and in test plan we define users as a thread group. A thread group is number of users that can be repeatable, that can be a very big number or just small number like 1. Beside thread group, we have a lot of elements in JMeter. We can see those elements on this slide, like samplers. The samplers are requests that we are making, HTTP mostly, but JMeter supports a lot of protocols, like HTTP, HTTPS, LDAP protocol, POP, SMTP, and so on. A lot of good plugins also, I must admit. The last one that I use for some time is Graph Generator, great plugin for visualization of our, our results. Actually, we have a lot of listeners. That listeners are reports and graphs, but JMeter itself has very pure and weak visualization. Because of that, we need to use some plugins like Graph Generator is, and we can do very good visualization with them. We have also assertions, response assertions, size assertions, timers, processors, and we can make very good test plans with JMeter, but test plans are not reusable. That is maybe one of the problems of JMeter. This is just one screen that is thread group. Thread group that can start new loop or stop test, stop thread. We can give some ramp-up periods. And we can also schedule configuration, duration, and where to start and when to end with our test plan. Also, we can use thread group, few similar or different, completely different thread groups in one test plan. It's very easy to add component to JMeter. It's easy to add all the components, but we must plan before we start. On this screen is HTTP request defaults, but beside the HTTP request defaults, we have a lot of different requests that we can put in our test plan. Actually, one of them is HTTP. HTTP defaults is like some home page or something similar that is like first page that we must enter before our test plan. But we can add a lot of different in test plan, a lot of different HTTP requests or some similar LDAP requests, JDBC, JMS requests that we needed for our scenario. On the screen, we have something that is like server name, port number. We can define that in our scenario. And we have a path for home is like only one path like home. And beside this tool, I research for more tools because of some drawbacks. I will tell you later about that. I found Lacust. Lacust is like framework for performance testing. Very interesting for me because I like Python, and Lacust is written in Python, and it's plain code. People don't know Python sometimes and don't want to learn because of the performance testing. So it's another opportunity for someone who wants to learn more. Python is easy to learn, and Lacust is a web-based UI tool and great tool for starting, and of course reusable code. That is very important for testers, I think. This is just a small example of one file in Lacust. We have two classes. One is HTTP Lacust class, that is user class, and other class is task set class, where we can define our methods. We have a login method, we have an index method, and we have a user behavior class that define our schedule of methods executing. It's possible to define maximum and minimum wait in milliseconds in this code, and a lot of solutions written in Python we can have in Lacust. But something that bothers me a lot in Lacust is results that we get. our results are actually in one table. I was disappointed about that, I must admit. I expected some graphs, some visualization. It's easier for me. And I tried to research a lot of. And I found visualization for Lacoste. It's a library that we can do the visualization with. We can get our results in JSON format, and then we can create plotter file that use library that called Bokeh. Alternative to Bokeh is Graphit, also additional library that can do the visualization, and it's very good actually, visualization with all needed data, with all graphs, with colors. And it's very easy when you do it once. It's great, and when you like Lacoste and Python, you can do it again. Something that I want to tell you about is advantages of those tools. JMeter is open source tool and has a very friendly UI that we can use. Very easy to find out all processors, timers, samplers, and so on, because they are collected on one place in main menu. And it's very easy to manage that when you know what do you want from your test plan. Also, it's platform independent, and we do not need any particular infrastructure for installation. It's very easy to install and to use it. I think it's the most important of all. Every plugin is very easy for installation also, so it's very easy for using, just for beginners maybe also. We can visualize test results. JMeter has some good tables with data, some graphs, but there are a lot of additional plugins that we can use to do it better. And we have a full multi-threading framework here, very highly extensible. We can integrate JMeter with Jira, with Eclipse, also bin shell scripting. Bin shell scripting is using for some uncommon test cases maybe, and we can use bin shell scripting for communicating with every entities in JMeter, but also there are a lot of entities that aren't in JMeter, and with bin shell scripting we can manage that. In bin shell scripting we can also do the assertions and all the things that we can make in JMeter. Also, we have unlimited testing capabilities and supports multi-protocol. I think it's very important for us because a lot of testers do it with different protocols. It's not like HTTP and HTTPS, and this tool allows all that. But Lacoste allows only HTTPS protocol. That is a problem. Also, JMeter is one tool that I tried to automate my performance testing with, and I tried to, I succeeded, of course, to have a CI with JMeter and TeamCity. It's very easy, and we can do it from command line. So we have a non-GUI mode in JMeter and also GUI mode. We can do that with JTL script and JMX. JMX is for test plan, and JTL are results in our scenario. So I think most common tool that I usually use is JMeter, and I'm very satisfied. I didn't want to talk about Gatling as the third tool that I like, because it's based on Scala, and it's very difficult for some testers. My testers don't like Gatling, and that is maybe for some other opportunity on some conference, but JMeter is my recommendation to start with. Also, advantages of Locust. It's also open source, license, and simple Python code. I like it very much. It's platform independent, but we have reusable code. It's easier for us. Also, it is based on coroutine. We have a lot of functionality that Locust supports. Web-based UI, easily customizable and highly customizable, and use for sync approach. But now we can talk about some drawbacks also. And here it is. JMeter, complex terminology. For start, first time that I opened JMeter was like, oh God, what is this? What is like simpler? What is all of those elements? What do we do with it? I don't know. But after a few times and using after one time after another, it was clear, and it was normal for using and much easier. But it is complex terminology, sometimes confusing graphics and representation of results. So when you have like 1,000 requests in one test plan and a lot of users, you've got one table with all that data, responsive time and speed, and I don't know, all those things. And it's very hard to track all that data. Also, with JMeter, we have a problem with remote machines that must be declared in a property file before starting application. And also, we must start remote machine before our test plan. Sometimes that is very bad. For Locusts, very small community. For JMeter is large community, a lot of mailing lists, forums, blogs, a lot of documentation, but Locusts know many forums, mailing lists, pure but weak documentation. Also, record scripting doesn't support. JMeter actually has supported record scripting. Locust, lack of good presentation of results. additional library, Bokeh or Graphit or some other for graphic results. That is very bad for Locust now. And GVent's performance under Windows is poor. GVent is one part of Locust complex installation, and sometimes you have a problem with doing some scripting in Locust. So it's a drawback, definitely. So my conclusions. I want to pay your attention on non-functional testing. It's equal important as functional testing also. We must do that. Non-functional testing is usually after functional testing, and you must add that in your daily job. So you must learn, search, you must explore all of possibilities for performance testing and find your own tool that suits to you. I think that decision is only yours, because this is my choice, my two tools, but I think you will decide something different, because there is no best tool. What about pitfalls? It's hard to say about pitfalls, but I think that as first pitfall that I have to recommend you to plan before start performance testing. You must plan every segment of your performance testing to do that as possible good, as it should be. One of the pitfalls also is to plan your elements, your requests, and number of users, and also I think it's very important to plan your results. What do you want from performance testing? What is the response time that is needed for one page in my situation of web application? What is the average time that you will wait for executing one test? And so on. Duration, your test case, and everything that is important for you in agreement with client, with your team. It is one more pitfall is to do that with your team, actually, to include your developers into your work, because they are know that application, the way that is written in, and only on that way you can avoid pitfalls. So I was a little bit shorter, I think. Thank you on everything, on your attention.
Dusanka Lecic. That was very clever of you, Dusanka. We actually do have some questions, I think. So can we get our Slido up and see if there are any questions from the audience? Have you ever tried doing continuous performance testing?
Yes. My favorite part of performance testing is a combination of JMeter and TeamCity. I tried also JMeter with Jenkins, but I stayed in the way of TeamCity because of my team, actually.
Thank you. And one final question. How to persuade product owner or project manager to start performance testing in the project?
Oh, good question, definitely. We find out with last client with my project that it's sometimes very difficult to pursue because they don't see the value of performance testing about web application, but how to pursue we try to do daily job without performance testing, and after 3 months we offer them some test plans that already were finished, and try to show them and to explain them what is going on, why is so slow something, and what we can do with that, and then we get green light for performance testing. Maybe it isn't a best way, but it's some way to do that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Dusanka Lecic.